Album of the Month.
What is going on, YouTubeverse? John Stanek from Johnny Radio here, bringing you another Album of the Month. This time for December of 2020. We finally made it through this crazy year, and I'm proud to announce that we are reviewing Paul McCartney III, the third in a series, starting with this baby right here from 1970, McCartney, the solo album, the first solo album where he played all the instruments himself, followed by 1980's McCartney II, which was probably on the lower end of the spectrum of McCartney's discography. Where does this fall? I'm glad to say somewhere in between. It's not as great as this one, not as terrible as McCartney II, but definitely has some interesting stuff on here. And, it's just so cool that in Lockdown, or Rockdown, as Paul called it, he just continues at the age of 78 to push himself and put stuff out there. He has nothing left to prove at this point, but there's some really cool stuff on here, starting with the opening track, Long-Tailed Winter Bird, which has this really infectious, cool acoustic rhythm track that gets stuck in your head. Lyrically, the song doesn't really go anywhere, but it's just a really cool, interesting idea. Reminds me of that first McCartney album where there were certain songs on there where he's just kind of noodling around more instrumentally, like Mama Miss America, and this ends up having a pretty cool groove to it as well, and goes a few places that you don't quite expect it to go. There's a lot of really interesting avenues that Paul takes, although the lead-off single that comes next, Find My Way, is not one of my favorites. I think it's kind of dull, actually. And I'm surprised that he kind of led off with this as a single, even though it is kind of an upbeat, fun song. I don't think it's a very memorable tune melodically. But then you've got songs like Women and Wives, where Paul's going almost bluesy, cool piano track with a stand-up bass in the background, and Paul doing this kind of deep, almost growling voice, and it works really well, actually. Kind of like a throwback to Eleanor Rigby in a way, in mood, but really more of a blues-based instrumentation, which is nice. Then you've got Lavatory Lil, which a lot of people either love or hate it. The lyrics aren't actually that bad, and it has a really cool guitar riff, I must say. It's grown on me after the first few times I've heard it, and I think it's actually a pretty fun track. I don't know if Lavatory Lil is the girl who came in through the bathroom window from Abbey Road. Maybe it's someone, new, but either way, she's definitely got some issues, that's for sure. Then you've got Deep, Deep Feeling, which is an 8+ minute jam that kind of like Long-Tailed Winter Bird doesn't have a lot of lyrics, and when they do come in, they almost don't make a lot of sense to me. Like, he's trying to describe this deep, deep feeling that he can't quite put his finger on. And I don't know, it doesn't get me really in a lyrical or a spiritual way that I think he's trying to go for. However, I will say that he goes some musical places that were unexpected for Paul that are really cool, almost kind of like a Pink Floyd space rock type thing. So it's a really cool adventure if you're in it for the full 8 minutes. It has some really cool moments. So that's another standout. I would say my favorite track right now is The Kiss of Venus, which is a acoustic ballad, which to me is kind of where Paul is at his best in his solo career. I mean, he's got so many great ones like Great Day from Flaming Pie, Every Night, or many other acoustic tracks from McCartney 1. But this kind of has that kind of feel to it. It's got a really memorable melody, The Kiss of Venus, da-na-na-na-na-na. So it's really beautiful, and I think that's one that's really going to stand the test of time, as well as the final track, which forgive me, I can remember When Winter Comes also has that kind of acoustic vibe that's just classic McCartney. Another one that's really grown on me here lately is Deep Down, which is the second to last track. And it's got this really fun bass groove. It makes you want to kind of put your teeth out a little bit, like, yeah, you know what I'm talking about. And it's just so fun to hear McCartney say, we're going to party every night. It just, something about that just makes me smile, just picturing Paul McCartney, you know, like in the club dancing. And it really does have a great groove, unlike some of that 1980 McCartney II stuff where he was trying too hard to get into the like krautrock at the time. This feels more organic, more almost like a disco vibe, and I really enjoy it. So there's not every track is a winner. Not every track is going to be a Maybe I'm Amazed or something that, you know, 30 years later we're singing. But again, I gotta say, just to have some Paul McCartney in these crazy times is a blessing. So I'm gonna give this thing a strong 7 out of 10. Definitely recommend it. If you haven't heard it yet, what are you waiting for? Go check it out right now. My two favorite tracks, The Kiss of Venus and Long-Tailed Winterbird. And yeah, man. And by the way, it's Paul McCartney week here at Johnny Radio, so stick around. On Friday, I'll be doing my top 5 Paul McCartney songs of all time. So we'll see what makes that list. So thank you guys for watching, and as always, Viva la Vinyl. So guys, thanks so much for watching. Please like, subscribe, and be sure to ring the bell for notifications so you can always see great quality content like you're seeing on the screen right now. Thank you so much for supporting Johnny Radio, and I'll see you soon.